If you are a man over 60 and things have changed, and you have not said a word about it to anyone, here is something that might surprise you. She already noticed. She noticed before you did. And she has been waiting for you to bring it up. The silent changes you think you are hiding, you are not hiding them at all. Hi, gentlemen. I am Dr. Elena, a specialist in men's prostate and sexual health, with over a decade of experience working with men over 60. Today, I am going to talk about something most men in this age group will never discuss out loud. The silent changes that happen after 60. Why they happen, and why the conversation you have been avoiding is actually the first step toward fixing it. Before we start, hit that like button right now. Drop a comment below and tell me where you are watching from, and subscribe to this channel so you never miss important health information designed for men over 60. Now let us get into something that nobody talks about, but everybody experiences. Here is a number that will put this in perspective. By age 65, over 40% of men have already experienced a significant change in their life in the bedroom. Not a small change. A real, noticeable difference that affects their confidence, their relationship, and how they feel about themselves every single day. And here is what is even more striking. Of those men, the majority have never once talked about it. Not to their doctor, not to their partner, not to anyone. They carry it in silence. They assume it is just aging. They pull back. They avoid. And they hope nobody notices. But the truth is, someone always notices first. And almost every time, it is the woman they live with. Number 1. How she notices before you do. Women are wired to pay attention to the people they live with. It is not something she is looking for. She does not wake up one morning and decide to monitor your behavior. It happens gradually. She notices you pulling away when you used to reach for her. She notices you avoiding situations where intimacy might happen. She notices you going to bed after her or staying up later than usual. She notices the way you look at her has changed. And she does not say anything. Because she is waiting for you to say something first. Think of it like a thermostat in the house. She feels the temperature dropping. She knows something changed, she just does not know if you know it too. I had a patient, 67 years old, who came to me after his wife sat him down one evening and asked him directly, "What is going on with us?" He was shocked. He thought he had been hiding it well. He had not. Not even close. Number 2, why men over 60 pull back. And it is not what you think. Most people assume that when a man pulls back after 60, it is because he lost interest. That is almost never the case. The real reason is fear. Specifically, the fear of failing in front of the person whose opinion matters most to him. The first time it happens, the first time a man tries, and it does not work, something changes in his mind. He starts to associate intimacy with the possibility of embarrassment. So he avoids it. Not because he does not want connection, because he is terrified of repeating that moment. And the more he avoids, the more the physical problem gets worse. Think of it like a muscle you stop using. It does not stay the same. It gets weaker. And the weaker it gets, the more reason he has to keep avoiding. Number 3. What is actually causing this inside your body? Here is where the science comes in. And this is the part most men never hear because they never get to this conversation. The changes after 60 are almost never caused by aging itself. They are caused by chronic inflammation, specifically inflammation in the pelvic region that builds up silently over years. The prostate sits right in the center of this. By age 60, over 50% of men have some degree of prostate inflammation. That inflammation restricts blood flow, and reduced blood flow to the pelvic region directly affects everything: your confidence, your function, your energy in the bedroom. It affects how you feel about yourself. And because inflammation builds slowly, most men do not notice it until the effects become impossible to ignore. Think of it like rust building inside a pipe. From the outside, everything looks fine. but inside the flow is getting smaller every single month. If this is hitting close to home, if you recognize what I am describing, hit that like button right now and comment below. You do not have to share details. Just let me know if you understand what I am talking about. Your comment tells other men watching that they are not alone in this. Number 4. How this has destroyed relationships in silence for decades. This is not a new problem. Men have been going through this for generations. But because nobody talks about it, most men think they are the only one. They are not. I had a patient, 73 years old, who told me that he and his wife had been living essentially as roommates for the past 6 years. No physical intimacy, no conversation about it. They just stopped. He said the worst part was not the problem itself. It was watching the distance grow between them and not knowing how to close it. He assumed his wife had stopped caring. She had not. She had been grieving the loss of their connection for years. Neither of them knew how to break the silence. Number 5. Why talking about it is harder than you think, and why it matters anyway. Most men, over 60, would rather talk to a stranger about almost anything than admit to their partner that something has changed. And I understand why. There is a deep fear that admitting this makes you less of a man, that she will look at you differently. But here is what the research actually shows. Women in long-term relationships do not lose respect for their partners when they are honest about health challenges. They lose connection when their partners hide it. The silence is what damages the relationship, not the problem itself. Think of it like a crack in a foundation. A small crack can be repaired. But if you ignore it and cover it up, it spreads, and eventually it brings everything down. Number 6. Why the conversation alone is not enough. And here is the part that most men do not expect. Having the conversation with your partner is essential. It rebuilds trust. It stops the distance from growing. But it does not fix what is happening in your body. I had a patient, 68 years old, who finally opened up to his wife after 4 years of silence. It was a breakthrough for their relationship. But his symptoms did not change, because the underlying inflammation was still there. The conversation addressed the emotional damage, but the physical cause needed to be addressed separately. And until he did that, the function was not going to come back. The conversation was the first step, but it was only half of what needed to happen. Now about addressing that physical cause. Over the past few years, research has started looking at specific natural compounds that support the body's ability to reduce chronic pelvic inflammation and restore healthier blood flow. These are not medications with side effects. They are nutritional compounds that work with your body's own inflammatory response system. Some men over 60 have started using these compounds specifically to address the root cause, the inflammation that lifestyle changes alone cannot fully reverse after 60. And what is important to understand is that addressing the physical side does not replace the conversation with your partner. It works alongside it. One rebuilds the connection. The other rebuilds the function. Both matter. If you want to learn more about the specific natural compounds that are being studied for inflammation support and how men over 60 are using them to address the underlying cause, I have left detailed educational information in the description below. This includes what the research currently shows, how these compounds work, and why some men are seeing results that lifestyle changes alone could not produce. This is educational content only. Always consult with your healthcare provider before making any changes to your health routine. And here is the last thing I want to leave you with. The men who see the best results in this area are not just taking something and hoping for the best. They are addressing the whole picture. The inflammation, the circulation, the conversation with their partner, the sleep, the stress. When all of those pieces come together, that is when real change happens. It is not one thing, it is everything working at the same time. So here is what I need you to do right now. If this video helped you understand something you have been carrying in silence, hit that like button. It tells YouTube to show this to more men who need to hear it. And drop a comment below. You do not have to share your whole story. But if this resonated with you, if you recognized yourself in what I described today, let me know. Your honesty helps other men find the courage to address this. Subscribe to this channel. Every week I release content specifically for men over 60 who want real answers about what is happening in their bodies. I am Dr. Elena. You deserve to understand this, and you deserve to know it is not too late. Take care of yourselves, gentlemen.